month is because it's like suppressed. Read up your history. Come out of the misery. Read up your history. Come out of the fantasy. Because if you don't know your history, then you're not in a reality. I say people, 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 without knowledge of your past, without knowledge of your culture, without knowledge of your history, without knowledge of ancestry, then you're like a tree without a root. And a tree without a root is a dead tree. Easily blown away by the wind, easily washed away by the rain, easily fooled, easily duped, and easily bluffed. Mr. If you read up your history, take yourself out of the misery, because if you don't know your history, then you're living in a fantasy. Mr. If you read up your history, yes, then in the days of slavery, when the slave was not allowed to read, you could be punished if you were caught reading. And then there was a slave named Sam Sharp who saw people looking at paper and reading and figured out how to read. And when he figured out how to read, one day he picked up a discarded piece of newsprint and he realized that they were rebelling against slavery in a place called Britain. And then he realized that some of the people in Jamaica didn't even know that they were slaves. As Harriet Tubman said, she could have freed 3 times as many people as she did, but most of them didn't know they were slaves. Because after generation and generation of being a slave, all they knew to be was just a slave. So, this man picked up the discarded piece of newsprint, and when he read that piece of newsprint and it told him about slave rebellion in England, he said, wait, I have to do this here too, in Jamaica. And that's what sparked the slave rebellion in Jamaica. And even though he got killed, the legacy that he started, today we have it still. Mr. If you read up your history, then there was the one called Marcus Garvey. His father used to work in a print shop, and he used to visit the print shop from he was a very tiny tot, and he learned to read. And then he went to London, England, and they claim that Marcus Garvey read every single book he could find in the library in London. And Marcus Garvey is reading about black kings of Africa and saying, yes, the black man should have a black king. And the Europeans have a European king. And everybody else have their own king. So how come the black man don't have a black king? And he said, well, black people, you should look to Africa, because Africa had great kingdoms, and that's where our king should be. And so say, so done. 2 years after he said that, a king was crowned. 2 years after that, a king of kings was crowned. Mr. If you read up your history and come out of the misery, because if you don't have your history, you're living in a fantasy. And if you don't know your ancestry, if you don't know your history, then a child you will always be, and you will have a lost legacy. Now here comes part 2, and it goes like this. Stolen legacy. Give me my philosophy, you carry to Greece. All you Greek philosophers, Ephraim and Socrates, give me a historical masterpiece. Give me back my name. Give me back my calendar. Give me my books where your teeth from Alexandria. Give me back my math, you Pythagoras. Give I symbols, your teeth from us. Give me back the name I know so well. Give me my language I know so well. This mixed up English, confusing no hell. Give me back the queen like the Queen of Sheba and like the queen called Cleopatra. All I can hear about is Queen Victoria. Give me this. Give me that. Give I everything that you got. Give me my diamond. Give me my gold. Give I forward, I rock and roll. Give me my blues that you confuse. Give me back all the music that you confuse. No spiritual concept originated here. So who I praise? Why do you care? Give me the herb, make some tea. Give I all I fruit trees. We work 7 days a week. We build your city by the sweat of our back. And then you turn around and give I crack. Give me my herb, make some tea. Give Give I forward all my fruit trees. Give me my remedy that make blind see. Give me everything you take from me. Give me this, give me that. Give I forward you everything that you got. Give me a space. I can run my whole life. Respect is due. The time is now. No more turn cheek, cause this time we not bow. Brand new introductory offer. Just sign up and accept a nice new low and incredible introductory offer. And after that, I just work, pay, work, buy, work, pay, work, and buy. I'm just chipping away at the bill. So I'm just chipping away at the bill. So I'm just chipping away at the bill. Chopping away at the bill. But don't care how hard I chop. All I get is a chip on the block. I got no time to fuss with you. I got no time to fight with you. I've got no time to data with you. I got to make it to the bank I too. Go deposit my rent, go deposit yours too. Then here's the item, the telephone, the gas company. Lord, oh Lord. Not to mention the old credit card. If I miss a payment date, I face a threat. High interest rate. I gotta go work, pay, work, buy, work, pay, work, and buy. I'm just chipping away at the bills, and I'm just chipping away at the bills, and I'm just chipping away at the bills. It's the culture I am in, and sometimes my mind is foggy and I can't live. My body, it feels so lucky. I got to go by. It's a solution provided that erase all my problems, combine them into one big hangover as I wake up the next morning. We go rush, we go haze, we go work, we go spend, and everything. I buy, I gotta pay. That's Florida, chipping away at the bills. I'm just chipping away at the bills. I'm just chipping away at the bills. Price inflation, I don't eat. And sometimes I feel like I wanna fly, so I go and I buy a high, but don't care how high I fly, I still have to come back down. We go rush, we go haze, we go work, we go spend, and everything. I buy, I gotta pay, the tax, the max, and that is the max. Chipping at the bill, but I'm just chipping away at the bill, I'm just chipping away at the bill. I need more income before you pass it. If I stop work, and if I stop paying, my whole life is fun. Want to know how much I pay? I try to make all the money spend. Figure out how much I spend. I spend more money than I make, and the more I make is the more I spend. Just keeping up with the trends. Sometimes I throw out very good things to buy a credit things I don't need. It keeps me chipping away at the bills. It keeps me chipping away at the bills. And everything is thing that's a buy. I gotta buy. The tax, Lord, chipping away at the bills. Now I'm chopping away at the bills. Chipping, chopping, never stopping. Work, pay, work, buy, work, oh! I don't care how hard I chop, all I ever seem to get that there is just a little chip off the big shop. Oh,